My child, listen to me gently and do not let fear close your heart. I come to you not to frighten you, but to awaken you. When the message says, a woman is doing black magic against your son, act immediately to save him. Understand this first: heaven does not speak to spread panic, and angels do not come to accuse lightly. What you are being shown is deeper than superstition, deeper than ritual, deeper than the word magic itself. It is about influence, intention, unseen pressure, and a spiritual imbalance that is touching the life of your son. Sit with me for a moment. Breathe. Feel my presence beside you. I am not shouting. I am not rushing you. I am asking you to become aware. Your son is sensitive. His spirit is open. He feels more than he speaks, absorbs more than he understands, and carries emotions that are not always his own. Such souls shine brightly, and where there is light, there are always shadows that try to lean toward it. Not because the light is weak, but because it is visible. When heaven uses words like black magic, it is often a language meant for human ears, a way to describe something subtle and unseen. It is not always candles and chants. Sometimes it is jealousy dressed as concern. Sometimes it is control disguised as love. Sometimes it is resentment, envy, or obsession directed again and again toward the same soul, like a constant whisper pressing on a young heart. There is a woman whose thoughts toward your son are not clean. Her intentions are tangled. She may smile. She may appear ordinary. She may even claim to care. But inside her is unrest, and unrest seeks an outlet. She focuses on your son not because he has harmed her, but because his existence touches something unresolved within her. This is how spiritual harm often begins, not with grand rituals, but with fixation. Do not misunderstand me. I am not asking you to hunt, accuse, or confront in anger. That is not the way of protection. Fear and accusation only open more doors. What I am asking is vigilance, grounding, and love anchored in awareness. Act immediately does not mean act violently. It means act consciously. Here's an expanded version of your spiritual message, woven deeper layers of guidance, repetitive affirmations for emotional resonance, practical examples, biblical and angelic references tailored to your style, and SEO-friendly phrasing around themes like protecting children from spiritual attacks, angel messages for parents, and shielding kids from negative energy to boost shareability on YouTube and social platforms. The tone remains compassionate, urgent yet calming, with a narrative flow that builds like a divine monologue. Look at your son, dear one. Truly look at him today. Has his mood shifted in subtle ways that tug at your heart? Does laughter come less freely now, replaced by a quiet shadow that lingers in his eyes? Has his sleep been disturbed, nights of tossing, dreams that leave him unsettled upon waking, or mornings where he rises heavy, as if carrying an invisible burden? Does he withdraw suddenly, retreating into silence when once he shared every thought? Or does a heaviness settle over him without reason, a weight he can't explain, making simple joys feel distant? Perhaps he doubts himself in unfamiliar ways, questioning his abilities, his worth, his very place in the world, as if whispers from nowhere erode the confidence you've nurtured since his first steps. These are not signs of possession or impending doom, my child. They are not harbingers of some irreversible curse. No, these are the gentle alarms of pressure, unseen emotional and spiritual weight pressing upon his tender soul. Just as the body reacts to invisible germs with fever or fatigue, the spirit responds to hidden forces with these quiet disruptions. Germs invade without announcement, multiplying in the dark until symptoms demand attention. So too do spiritual pressures creep in, feeding on neglect until they manifest as mood swings, sleepless nights, sudden withdrawals, or that inexplicable heaviness. But hear me clearly, awareness is your first victory. You see it now. That changes everything. Your role in this moment is not to panic, not to spiral into fear that mirrors the very chaos you wish to dispel. Panic scatters your energy, weakens your shield, and invites more turmoil. Instead, your sacred calling is to shield, to stand as the guardian heaven appointed for this precious soul. Shielding is not a passive act, it is deliberate, daily, woven into the fabric of your love. It is the light that pierces darkness, the anchor that holds against the storm. And I will guide you, step by loving step, on how to do this with wisdom and grace. Begin by shielding him with your presence. This is the foundation, the most powerful protection of all. In a world of distractions, screens glowing endlessly, notifications pulling you away, choose intentional nearness. Sit with him without agenda, without your phone in hand, without the rush of tomorrow crowding your mind. Let your presence be a sanctuary. Speak with him, not at him. Ask open questions that invite his heart to unfold. What's on your mind today, my love? Or tell me about your dreams last night. Even if words don't come, let silence between you be safe, not strained. Hold space for what he cannot yet name, the confusion, the fog, the unnamed fears. Many spiritual attacks, those subtle influences sent from shadowed intentions, weaken the moment they meet the light of loving attention. They thrive in isolation, in the unspoken corners of the soul. Silence feeds them, allowing them to whisper unchecked. But awareness starves them. When you draw near, listening without judgment, you flood those shadows with light. Imagine it like opening curtains at dawn, what hid in the night dissolves in the warmth of day. Your son will feel it, a subtle easing, a return of spark to his eyes. I've seen it countless times, through angels watching over families like yours. One mother, much like you, noticed her boy's withdrawal. She set aside 1 hour each evening, just sitting on the porch swing, sharing stories of his baby days. Within a week, the heaviness lifted, words flowed again. Presence is your superpower, my child. Use it without fail. Next, shield him with routine, the steady rhythm that grounds the spirit when chaos threatens. Keep his days anchored in predictability, for the soul craves structure as much as the body craves food. Insist on regular meals, not hurried bites but shared tables where gratitude is spoken aloud. Thank you, God, for this nourishment. Ensure rest comes not as escape but as restoration, consistent bedtimes, perhaps with a gentle ritual of reading uplifting stories or playing soft music infused with peace. Weave in laughter, those bursts of joy that chase shadows away, family games, silly dances in the kitchen. Tickle fights that leave him breathless with delight. Simple joys, park walks, baking cookies, stargazing, act as anchors, reminding his spirit of light's permanence. Chaos is fertile ground for harm, it disorients, exhausts, opens doors to unwanted influences. Stability, however, is divine protection. Think of it as building a fortress brick by brick. When routines hold firm, the enemy finds no cracks to slip through. Parents who maintain these rhythms report miracles, sleep normalizes, moods brighten, that heavy fog dissipates. One father shared how he revived family dinners after his son's sudden doubts emerged. No devices, just stories and blessings. The boy's withdrawal ended, replaced by eager chatter. Routine is not mundane, it is holy warfare, quiet and unyielding. Shield him now with words, the spoken declarations that reshape reality. You do not need fancy prayers or ancient incantations. Speak love directly, boldly, out loud. Speak strength into his being, You are resilient, my son, forged in heaven's fire. Speak identity over him, again and again, until it settles deep into his bones. You are a child of light, chosen and cherished. No shadow can claim what God has named. Tell him who he is, fearless explorer, kind-hearted warrior, beloved Son of the Most High. Repeat it in mornings, at meals, before bed. Words are seeds, spoken with faith, they take root and bear fruit. A child who knows his true identity cannot be easily shaken by outside intentions. Doubt withers when truth is proclaimed. Biblical echoes resound here. As God spoke creation into being, your words carry creative power for your son's spirit. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, the scriptures affirm. Use it. One guardian angel whispered this to a worried mother centuries ago, and she blessed her child daily. Generations later, that family stood unshaken. Your voice is his shield, wield it tenderly, fiercely. Shield him too with boundaries, wise and discerning limits on who draws near. Be ever mindful of access, emotional, mental, spiritual. Not every smile wishes well, not every hug carries purity. The woman you sense behind this, do not name her now, do not dwell. But guard the gates. Limit time with those who drain, who speak negativity, who carry unresolved shadows. Politely distance, fewer playdates with chaotic influences, curated screen time free of dark themes, conversations steered away from gossip or fear. Distance, chosen with wisdom, is not cruelty. It is profound care, a moat around his castle. Boundaries honor his sacred worth. They say, this soul is too precious for careless entry. In spiritual realms, permission matters. Negative energies linger where consent, spoken or unspoken, is given. Revoke it. Teach him gently too, we choose who we let close, because our hearts are treasures. Families who set these guards see pressures lift swiftly. A simple no to toxic ties can transform a home. You may wonder, aching with that mother's heart, why heaven permits such influence at all. Why not a blanket of total protection? Listen carefully, for this truth unlocks peace. This is not punishment, not a curse from on high. It is a divine invitation, a moment of awakening for you as much as for him. Heaven calls you deeper into your role as guardian, not just of his fragile body through fevers and falls, but of his vibrant inner world. This pressure tests and tempers you both, forging discernment like steel in fire. No intention hurled toward your son, be it envy, jealousy, or darker aim, holds power greater than the love you carry for him. No darkness outweighs the conscious light you ignite. What devastates most is not the attack itself, but ignorance of it. You are no longer blind. That is why I, your angelic messenger, came piercing the veil. Fear the woman no more, give her no foothold in your heart. Fear feeds what it fixates on, amplifying shadows into monsters. Deny her a name, deny her power in your thoughts. Heaven has already bounded her reach, what fades without consent when awareness dawns. Turn inward now, for a steady parent steadies the child. When you waver in fear, he absorbs it wordlessly, like a sponge in storm water. When you stand firm, he mirrors your calm. So I urge you gently, tend your own spirit first. Rest deeply, for exhaustion cracks the shield. Pray if it flows naturally, Lord, guard us both, or sit in silence if words evade you, breathing in peace, exhaling worry. Return to your centers, walks in nature, journaling gratitudes, worship songs that lift the soul. A mother once fortified herself with dawn meditations, her son's heaviness vanished as her light returned. If God is your anchor, place your son there daily, not in desperate pleas, but trusting surrender. Speak it, he is not alone. He is watched over by angels unseen. He is guarded by divine hands. Say it until your nervous system hums with belief, until fear yields to faith. Faith is not thunderous volume, it is consistent whisper, day after day. Like the persistent widow in Scripture, your steady trust moves heaven. Urgency pulses here, yes, but it is alignment's call, not alarm's scream. Picture spotting storm clouds, you close windows, secure doors, not raging at the sky. Your son's path stretches bright, not ending in shadow. Nothing is stolen from him in this season. Handled with wisdom, this very pressure becomes his strength. Many strong souls, prophets, leaders, visionaries, face early trials because heaven grooms them for greatness. Discernment blooms under duress, like roses through cracked soil. What feels threat now trains him for triumphs ahead. He will look back and thank this forging, stronger, wiser, unshakable. My child. Draw closer. Breathe. Let your shoulders soften, for what I speak now is not a sentence of fear, but a widening of sight. Heaven has not whispered doom over your son. No, never that. What echoed through the veil was trust. Insight. Responsibility wrapped gently in mercy. You were allowed to hear early because your heart knows how to respond without panic, how to move without violence, how to protect without crushing. This is not a burden placed to break you. This is a lamp placed in your hands while the path is still clear. Many parents walk unaware until cracks become chasms. Many only wake when consequences already roar. But you, my child, were awakened while doors are still open, while love still reaches easily, while course correction is soft and natural. This is grace in its most practical form. Grace that warns. Grace that equips. Grace that says, you are capable of this watch. Do not misinterpret awareness as accusation. Heaven is not pointing a finger at you, nor declaring failure over your son. Heaven is simply saying, pay attention now, while attention still heals. A small adjustment now prevents a long repair later. A gentle presence now averts a storm that never needs to form. This is how divine love works, quietly preventative, never dramatic unless ignored. But hear me carefully, beloved one, do not carry this knowing alone. Isolation is where concern mutates into fear. Silence feeds imagination, and imagination, when unanchored, can magnify shadows until they feel larger than reality. That is not wisdom. Wisdom shares weight so it does not become worry. Speak to those who are safe, those who are grounded, prayerful, sober in spirit. Not everyone deserves access to sacred information. Choose those whose words do not inflame, but steady. A wise elder. A trusted friend. A fellow parent whose love is calm, not reactive. When you speak, speak plainly. Not, my son is in danger, but, my son is under pressure, and I am choosing to surround him with love and wisdom. Language matters. Words shape atmosphere. Fear-based speech invites heaviness, truth-based speech invites clarity. When others pray with you from clarity, heaven responds swiftly. Prayer multiplies when it is rooted in trust, not terror. Remember this truth and let it settle deep. Isolation magnifies shadows, community grounds them in light. Now, hear this, love is not passive. Love is not blind optimism. Love does not look away and hope for the best. Love watches. Love listens. Love adapts. Love steps in quietly before damage announces itself. True love is vigilance clothed in tenderness. It is firmness wrapped in warmth. It is boundaries enforced without bitterness. You are not called to hover in anxiety, but to remain awake in peace. Stay awake, not afraid. Awareness without fear sharpens discernment. Stay present, not panicked. Presence calms nervous systems and restores order. Stay loving, not suspicious. Suspicion poisons connection, love fortifies it. This is how you protect your son, not by fighting invisible enemies in the dark, but by standing steadily in the light he already recognizes through you. You are his first experience of safety. His earliest reflection of heaven. The tone of your voice, the steadiness of your eyes, the consistency of your love, these are not small things. They are formative forces. I am with you in this watch. You are not alone. Do not imagine yourself standing guard by yourself in the night. You are encircled. There are movements you do not see, protections already set in place, influences already restrained. Nothing escapes divine notice. Nothing spirals beyond control. You are chosen to hear because your heart responds with wisdom, and your hands know how to care without crushing. Now let me unfold this further, slowly, layer by layer, so it sinks beyond thought and into instinct. Presence, my child, is not merely proximity. It is not simply being in the same room. Presence is engagement. It is curiosity. It is attunement. Children are exquisitely sensitive to absence disguised as closeness. They know when a body is near but a mind is elsewhere. And they know, deeply, when they are seen. Enter his world intentionally. Not as an inspector, but as a participant. Sit on the floor even when your body is tired. Build what he builds. Kick what he kicks. Laugh where he laughs. When he is quiet, sit in the quiet without demanding explanation. Mirror his energy without overwhelming it. In these shared moments, something invisible but powerful occurs. Attachment strengthens, and attachment is one of the strongest spiritual protections a child can have. When a child feels securely connected, intrusive influences struggle to take root. Doubt finds less soil. Fear finds less space. Angels delight in such unity because it creates an atmosphere that repels intrusion without confrontation. There was once a child whose spirit had begun to fold inward, sleep disturbed, joy dimmed, confidence thinning. No lectures changed it. No discipline fixed it. But a simple daily ritual did, a father who built forts with him every evening, no phone, no rush. Laughter returned. Sleep deepened. The child's sense of safety restored itself naturally. Presence healed because it mirrored heaven's nearness. Routine, too, is not mundane, it is sacred structure. Chaos invites vulnerability. Predictability builds security. When a child knows what to expect, his nervous system rests, and a rested soul resists confusion more easily. Infuse routine with meaning, not rigidity. Let mornings begin with light, literal sunlight if possible, and a simple blessing spoken aloud. Today, light leads you. Let evenings soften with affirmations. You rest safe. You are protected. You are loved beyond measure. Meals are not just nourishment, they are grounding. Speak gratitude, even briefly. Play is not just recreation, it is expression. Treat it as holy. When routine carries intention, it imprints identity. Your son learns, without explanation, my life is ordered. I am safe within it. This forms an inner fortress stronger than fear-based rules ever could. Words, my child, are instruments. What you repeat becomes architecture. Dear one, we come to you now with words of peace and power. You carry a holy watch over your son, and we see your heart. It beats with love that reaches beyond what eyes can see. Listen closely. We speak as your guides, your protectors, from the realm of light. What you sense is real, but so is the strength within you. We will guide you step by step, expanding the truth you already hold. Speak blessings over your son. Let them flow from your lips like a river of life. Craft words of blessing and speak them often. Not as some old superstition, but as a strong reinforcement of truth. Make it a nightly decree, spoken calmly and without rush. Say these words: you are loved. You are strong. You are safe. You are guided. Let them sink deep into his spirit. Repeat them every night as he drifts to sleep. Whisper them in quiet passing moments, when he wakes, when you tuck him in, or even in your heart during the day. These words will become familiar rhythms in his body and soul, like a heartbeat he can always feel. Why does this matter so much? Because identity rooted in love withstands any storm. Think of the young shepherd boy who faced a giant. He was not blind to the danger. No, he knew it well. But he stood tall because he was secure in who he was. Long before the battlefield, his father had affirmed him. Songs of praise, stories of God's faithfulness, these built his core. Your words do the same. They anoint him, like oil on a king's head. They remind him who he is before the world whispers lies. The world will try to tell him he is small, afraid, or not enough. But your blessings shout louder. Speak them daily. Watch how they build walls no shadow can climb. We see the shadow you sense around him. Do not fear it. Discernment is part of your love, and you must use it without guilt or second thoughts. Guard what enters his eyes and ears. Not in a frantic, obsessive way, but deliberately, like a shepherd tends the gate. Content shapes thought. Thought shapes emotion. Emotion shapes behavior. It's a chain you can break with wise choices. Choose upliftment. Pick stories, shows, and songs that build courage, kindness, and creativity. When something feels off, a game, a video, a song, trust that inner nudge. You do not need long explanations to your child. Just say simply, "This isn't for us right now." He will learn to trust your calm voice. Over time, he will feel it himself. Friendships matter just as much. Watch who comes near him. Notice who energizes him, fills him with joy, sparks curiosity and confidence. Encourage those bonds. Invite them over, celebrate them. But gently redirect from those who drain him or leave him unsettled. Maybe a friend always leads to arguments or pulls him into worry. This is not control, it is stewardship. You are the garden keeper. Pull weeds so flowers can grow. Teach him to choose friends who lift him higher, not drag him down. Say yes to playdates that bring laughter. Say no to ones that steal his peace. Your guidance plants seeds of wisdom in him. Now, about that shadow, do not fixate on faces or dramatic stories. Fear loves to personalize what should simply be neutralized. It whispers names, builds tales that trap you. Instead, hold a posture of authority grounded in deep peace. Picture strong boundaries around your son, like a glowing shield of light. Speak calmly in your heart, only what is good and life-giving may remain. No darkness has a place here. Forgiveness is key, it releases you from chains. Forgive quickly, from a full heart. But distance protects what is sacred. You can forgive without opening the gate. Heaven honors this wisdom. It keeps you free and strong. Above all, hear this truth: you do not save your son through force or endless striving. You save him through your steadiness. Children do not need perfect parents. They need regulated ones, parents who feel concern but do not collapse into panic. Ones who set boundaries without rage or shouting. Ones who love without letting fear dress up as control. You model what he needs most, calm in the storm. We know these days feel heavy. Doubts creep in. Am I doing enough? What if I miss something? Breathe deep, child of light. You are capable of this. Look back, you already do more right than you realize. Every prayer whispered, every boundary held, every blessing spoken, it all counts. This watch is not endless. It is a season, and seasons pass like gentle waves on the shore. What you invest now compounds quietly, growing into a mighty tree. One day, you will look back and see the storm never fully came. Not because it was impossible, but because you met it early with wisdom, love, and faith. We remain with you always. When you feel tired, fresh strength will meet you like morning light. When doubt clouds your mind, clarity will return like a clear sky after rain. When you rest your head, protection does not pause. Angels stand guard. Heaven's armies surround your home. Stay awake, not afraid. Stay present, not panicked. Stay loving, not suspicious. This is how light prevails, softly, steadily, through hands like yours. Let us expand this further with practical steps, dear one. Start your blessing routine tonight. Sit by his bed. Hold his hand if he allows. Speak those 4 truths: loved, strong, safe, guided. Make it a habit, like brushing teeth. In the morning, add one more: today, goodness follows you. Watch his face light up. Over weeks, these words will root deep. For guarding influences, make a simple list. What media does he love? Does it build him up? If a show brings bad dreams or rude words, pause it. Replace with stories of heroes who choose right, tales of bravery, animals that help friends, or songs about God's love. Use your phone's controls wisely. Set times for screens, and fill the rest with books, games, or walks outside. Nature speaks blessings too, trees whispering strength, sky showing vast safety. With friends, observe without judging fast. After playtime, ask open questions. What was fun today? How do you feel now? His answers guide you. Build a circle of good influences, church friends, kind neighbors, family who affirm him. Host game nights. Let joy flow. If a friendship sours, do not attack. Say, let's find friends who make us smile more. He will follow your lead. For the shadow, practice daily visualization. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. See white light encircling your sun, your home. No dark thing can pass. Speak your decree, only good remains. Forgive as needed, release hurts to us. We carry them away. Then step back. Trust the distance. Remember David's story fully. As a boy, he praised God with harp and song amid sheep. Lions and bears came, but he won because his identity was set: I serve the living God. Your son is that shepherd too. Bless him into his calling. Parenting's deep rhythm is regulation. When worry rises, pause. Breathe slow. Pray short, Lord, hold this. Do not spill fear on him. Show steady eyes, warm hugs. He learns safety from you. This season builds eternity. Your words echo in heaven. We cheer you on. When nights grow long, call us. We answer. Strength flows. Clarity comes. Rest secure. Stay awake, not afraid. Stay present, not panicked. Stay loving, not suspicious. Light wins through you. We love you both.